Hey, good morning, it's Owen Bigland. This is the Inside Edge video blog. In the April issue of the Vancouver magazine, they had their best neighborhoods to live in Vancouver. And they took a poll of about 65 neighborhoods, pretty much every neighborhood, I think, in Vancouver. And came up with their best, the top 5, and then the bottom 5 neighborhoods in the city. And it makes for some interesting reading. It has an outline, a walk score for every neighborhood, what makes it good, its pros, its cons. They weighed things like amenities, community amenities, shopping, restaurants, bars, cost of living for rent or to own. So it was a pretty inclusive list here, and they looked at it from a lot of different variables. And it's kind of interesting. I think these type of polls are good for investors. If you're an investor now, and you're continuing to add more units to your portfolio, or you're saving up money right now to buy your first investment unit, these are good polls and good articles to be reading. You should be keeping up on these because you want to be in the up and coming and the hot neighborhoods if you're an investor. You do not want to be in the bottom of the list here. Because chances are you're going to be renting, if it's a 1-bedroom, you're going to be renting to millennials, and you want to be where millennials are. That's where you're going to get your maximum cap rate. That's where you're going to get your pick of the best tenants and have no problem renting the units out and get a good rent for it. You don't want to be in the neighborhoods. Well, I should say that in Vancouver right now, there really are no bad neighborhoods in Vancouver. Everything is expensive. And some of the ones at the bottom of the list here are very nice neighborhoods. But for whatever reason, it's the low walk scores and the lack of community feel that they sit at the bottom. But here, I'll give you the top 5 here. The top 5 neighborhoods, and these didn't surprise me because I like these neighborhoods. I love these neighborhoods. I own investment properties in several of these neighborhoods. Here's the top 5. Falls Creek, number 1. Number 1 neighborhood right now in Vancouver. According to Vancouver magazine, for whatever that's worth. But Falls Creek, West End, Main Street corridor, downtown, so that's basically taking up everything in the downtown core, I guess, central downtown, and Olympic Village. I would agree with those. All those neighborhoods are good. What you have in common with all these top 5 is good walk scores. You don't need a car. And I blogged last year about how I had bought a unit in Olympic Village. I'm starting to see with a lot of my tenants now that are living in the downtown core, a lot of them are giving up the car. They're riding their bike, they're walking. The reason they're able to live in the downtown core is that they are foregoing the car and saving the $700 or $800 a month it costs to buy and insure and everything else. That's going into buying or renting a nicer place in the downtown area. And so all these are areas that you could ride your bike, walk to just about everything. Shopping, restaurants, bars, you name it. Hop on the SkyTrain if you need to get to the airport. The bottom of the list, and this doesn't surprise me either, although there are some nice neighborhoods and these are some expensive neighborhoods. The bottom of the list, Oak Ridge, Arbutus Ridge, Dunbar, Kerrisdale, and Marpole. Those were the bottom dwellers on this list. And, these are nice areas. Dunbar, Marpole, Oak Ridge. I mean, outside, I think the reason that these score low is, first off, they're expensive areas because they take into that too how much it costs to buy or to rent. But they're not very walkable, friendly neighborhoods. Kerrisdale has some, depends on whereabouts in Kerrisdale you are, but the way I look at it is for most of these neighborhoods that were in the bottom of the list, if you want to get anywhere, do any shopping, you got to get in your car. And, the trend I'm seeing now, as I say, is people are getting away from the car. A lot of them might be a couple. Instead of having 2 cars, they've got 1 now instead of both having a car. And as I say, with a lot of the younger people, the millennials, they're giving up that car completely. They want to walk or be able to ride their bikes. And you're seeing that coming across here in these lists, and I've seen this now for the last couple of years. The neighborhoods that have a kind of a village feel to it, where you can walk to everything, are the ones that are scoring much higher. And I think that trend is going to continue. If you're a property investor or thinking about buying an investment unit, these are the type of lists you want to keep an eye on. You want to be in these top neighborhoods. You don't want to be in the bottom neighborhoods. And again, a disclaimer, there's nothing wrong with these neighborhoods. Who wouldn't want to live in Oak Ridge or Dunbar or Kerrisdale? They're great neighborhoods. But, I think the trend now is for more of a village, compact feel where you can walk to things. And you don't necessarily get that in those other neighborhoods. A lot of empty houses, a lot of chain stores. You don't have a lot of independent, cool, kind of hip stores that you have in these other neighborhoods. And that's what people are looking for more now. I'm Owen Bigland. As always, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.